road trip toolbox. What's everybody else put in theirs? Here's my start for my road box. Everybody's got that bunch of tools and parts that they take with you on a big road trip. That's the toughest thing. A guy who doesn't want to take too much crap, but you want to make sure you got what you need. This is a good start, I guess. So I've got a list of stuff that I've got in my box so far. I know there's going to be more stuff that's not on my list right now. I haven't got any of the major parts. Like, I'll probably throw an alternator and maybe something like that in there. But for now, have a listen to what I got listed off and throw it in the comments if you don't mind what else you think I might be missing. If you think anything's overkill, I just love to hear your opinions. Anybody that's done any of these major road trips. The only road trips I've ever really been in is in modern vehicles. I mean, when I drove to Texas and back to pick up my Duster, it was a 5-year-old Cummins diesel. I mean, I was not worried about it really at all. And if we had problems, we could have just took it to a dealership. So this is a total different deal. Anyway, here's my list. We'll go through quickly. Fire extinguisher. I take a fire extinguisher wherever I go. I don't know if everybody else does, but right here in the console beside me, that's what stays in that console. It's just a little ABC fire extinguisher. I've got an ignition box. I've got a ballast resistor. I had a voltage regulator. I had a distributor pickup. Now that, I don't know. That's, if a guy needed to put one in on the side of the road, you could, so maybe it's not a bad deal. Starter solenoid. I've had them fail in the past, so I got one of them. I actually got a little spark plug wire kit. It's just to build whatever kind of plug or coil wire that you might need. It matches the MSD wires that I've got on my car. What else? I got relays, 30 amp relays. I've actually got 30 amp relays on my overdrive and lockup. I've got a 30 amp relay on my ignition. I put that in there just so that I could make sure that they were getting a good solid reading to my voltage regulator so that I was charging right. So obviously I'm going to have a couple spares of those. That's pretty important stuff. All the different fuses, the glass fuses, I've got a couple add-in blade fuses that I've put into the car. I've got spares for all that kind of stuff. I've got an electronic flasher. I've got some LED bulbs in my brake lights, in my signal lights, different things like that, just to I don't know, because I thought it would be cool. One of them things, the internet said to do it, so I thought, what the heck, I'm going to do it. So I've got an electronic flasher to work with those LED lights. I got a bunch of tie wraps. I got some little plastic tie wraps, some big heavy plastic tie wraps. I've actually got some stainless steel tie wraps that I bought because the one time I was ripping along and my exhaust started to drag. So I was just happened to be right close to Princess Auto, not too far from home, and they had stainless steel tie wraps. So I winged in there. I got some stainless tie wraps, tied up my exhaust, and I drove home. So I've still got some of them in the box. Some 1157 bulbs, some different related bulbs from around the car that I know I'm going to need. I actually got a little jumper wire with a couple alligator clips on it. Might help once in a while. There's a time that I was having trouble with my neutral safety switch, so I just jumpered it out with that little jumper wire, and it worked great. Got a little tube of black RTV. I got a little tube of dielectric grease. I got electrical tape. Bunch of different little multi-screwdrivers. I got a little wee multi-screwdriver for adjusting my kickdown. My kickdown's done with a little vacuum switch, so I got a little specific tool for that. I got a big flat screwdriver, and I've got a flat wrench to adjust float bowl levels. The guy shouldn't really need to do that on the side of the road, but what the heck, I've got him in there. I've got a special screwdriver that I use for tuning carbs. I got it from my dad after he passed away, and it's always got a spot in my toolbox. I got a little hook wrench for pulling springs on, just makes life a little bit easier. Distributor wrench. I got a pocket knife. I got a test light. Test light's super important when you're trying to troubleshoot a DC system on the side of the road. I got a nice little telescoping magnet because you know you're going to drop stuff. What else have I got here? Stake-on pliers. I got the electrical crimps. I know some people love them, some people hate them, but what the heck? If you're on the side of the road, it's going to get you going. So I got some crimps. I got some really good crimp pliers. just other various tools, side cutters, channel locks, pliers, needle nose wrench. I'm an electrician, and I tend to go with a lot of the tools that were in my tool pouch when I was working on the tools back in the day doing construction. The kind of stuff that I'm just used to, and I know how to make it work, and I can fix stuff with that stuff that maybe others wouldn't even think to use it. I got a set of flat wrenches. I got a small socket set, just a small 3/8 socket set. I'm not going to be doing any major work, I guess, but it's going to help me maybe. I got a brass feeler gauge set in case I ever do have to replace that pickup. I got a plug gap tool. I don't know. I'm not very good about gapping plugs anyway, but I got the tool just in case I need it. I got a spark checker, the little inline spark checker. I got my little Holly jet tool screwdriver. Never used it, but it's cool. I got a miscellaneous little tub of Holly parts, a pair of gloves, a jack, wrenches to change a tire. I got a 1/2-inch torque wrench because I thought, if a guy's out somewhere and you got to do something with tires, at least you got them torqued up for the trip home. Tire pressure gauge, different flashlights. I got one of them ones that stick to my head. I love those things. The light is always where you're looking. If you don't have a kid to hold the flashlight and yell at, you've got your headlamp. I got a thing called a track mat. It's a little rubber or foam rubber thing with the carpet on top. It folds in half, and it's real great for sitting and laying on when you're on gravel or whatever. Works really good. Some duct tape. I got a little cup that with a little thing on it for draining the Holly fuel bowls. Then you're not pouring fuel all over the intake manifold when you're changing jets. And then a little wee tiny funnel for filling up those fuel bowls. I always carry a little can of I always carry a little can of gasoline, and just you've drained the bowl to change the jet. Fill that bowl right back up, and then you're good to go. I don't have an electric fuel pump, so rather than whirling it over to get it to start, that's my way around that. Anyway, that's just a short list of stuff that I've got so far. Like I said, there's going to be probably other stuff that I'll throw in the trunk, like maybe an alternator. I can envision a starter, maybe throw in a mini starter. What do you guys think? Throw it in the comments, or just give me any ideas, anything that you've had fail. Help a brother out.